Welcome to this introduction on limits of multivariable functions. Today, we are going to explore what it really means to approach a point from all paths in 3D calculus. Let's start by recalling single-variable calculus. When we deal with a function of x, approaching a limit is simple. We can walk towards a number from the left side or from the right side. If both directions meet at the same value, the limit exists. But now, enter the 3D world. We are on the xy plane. To approach a point here, we are not restricted to a single line. We can approach this red dot from the north, south, east, west, or any diagonal direction. There are infinite ways to get to the destination. It gets trickier. We aren't limited to straight lines. We can approach the point along a curve, like a parabola or a spiral. For a limit to exist in multivariable calculus, the function must approach the same value regardless of whether you walk a straight line or a curvy path. Since we cannot check infinite paths one by one, we usually test a few standard ones to see if the limit breaks. We check the x-axis, the y-axis, diagonal lines, and simple parabolas. If any of these give us a different result, we know the limit does not exist. Let's look at this classic example. We want the limit as x and y approach 0, 0. If we walk along the x-axis, the function equals 1. But if we walk along the y-axis, the function equals -1. Since 1 is not equal to -1, we can stop right there. The limit does not exist. Sometimes the axes give the same answer, so we have to be smarter. We can substitute y equals mx. This represents every possible straight line through the origin. If the final result still contains m, it means the limit depends on the slope of your approach. Therefore, the limit does not exist. Be very careful, though. Even if every straight line gives the same answer, the limit might still not exist. In this tricky example, all straight lines suggest the limit is 0. But if we approach along the parabola x equals y squared, the value is 1/2. This proves the limit does not exist. So how do we ever prove a limit actually exists? Testing paths can only show when it fails. To prove it works, we often use the squeeze theorem or convert to polar coordinates. In polar form, if we can show the limit is independent of the angle theta as the radius r goes to 0, then the limit exists. To wrap up, remember that finding two paths with different limits is the easiest way to show a limit does not exist. Always check the axes first, then try y equals x and y equals x squared. But to prove a limit is true, you will need stronger tools like polar coordinates.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.